2 forward entries, 2 goals. Must have been a very nice way to start the night, Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you play interstate teams and you start well, it helps. Teams want to come here and silence the crowd. And, we want to do the same when we travel next week to Brisbane. But it was nice to see Oscar Steene get an opportunity and then show the footy world that he can jump and influence the play. So that was a nice result.
When those rules were, I suppose the rules changed. Did it really light up in your mind that this could be the chance for him this season, or did you see him coming anyway?
Oh, look, honestly, list management make decisions around, we've got to find out about Oscar and, make decisions that move Mason Cox on. So, I had conversations with Oscar really early days. Hey, let's go, mate. We've opened a door for you. And that was early in pre-season, so pushing and prodding and encouraging. And then you get to watch the early rounds and, we played Adelaide and they pick a guy that's can jump at centre bounce and it makes a difference. Now, how much? It's hit out to one thing, clearances are another. But we've got a guy that we can jump at centre bounce and get the first handers on the ball. And it changes dynamic for the midfield. Nick can get on the roll and Geordie get on the roll, and they're really good players in that phase.
You spoke after Adelaide about your issues forward of the ball. How did you use the last fortnight to fix that connection?
A lot of behind the goals vision shows little things that you just can fix really quickly. Like, the game's fast now. You get the ball at a stoppage. 3 seconds, here we go. You're the right, let's go. So 3 seconds is not much time to set up forward of the ball or behind. So we had to get better at that. And then, I just didn't like the way that we set up for one, and then and we had to deal with the spare at times, and then other parts of that game, we just didn't connect. So we did a lot of patterning and working together, and we're not there. Like you saw tonight, there's improvement. There was. We left goals out there, so did they, but there was improvement, and just some method stuff we'll keep getting better at. Like that's part of the game. If you can connect, it makes a big difference.
Craig, what was the message you got from the medical team when Moore came off it? Just before quarter time, and he played out the game. Seemed like a hamstring injury, but what was it? Yeah,
well, it's hamstring awareness, and for those following his rehab back to play, he had this about 10, 12 days ago, the same thing, and we just no risk. But we're in the game, and you go, can he push through? Can he take some minutes? Because it's important that in terms of rotations and things, if he can take some minutes without risk. Now. I say that, I'm just back in the high performance team, that's not my area, and so we did that, but he's not right, he's not 100%, and so has he done a hamstring? I'm not sure, I don't think so, that's what I've been told, but we'll obviously do all the investigation and find out, but I'd say he's unlikely 6 days we travel to Brisbane, I'd say he's unlikely next week, but we'll see.
Craig, from the defensive side of things, the game of Billy Crampton tonight really isolated Hogan, and you were able to, and I think it was the way that he went about it, those intercepts, that was the probably the pivotal moment in the game. Then you could defensively transition the ball.
Yeah, it was a big part of the game, and geez, they're a dangerous team, the Giants, when they get that tsunami handball going, and we try to be aware of it, but we forced them to contest a bit more in the second half, which we wanted to do, and then Billy, I just rewarded it internally, because that last 1 minute, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, whatever it was. Hogan had 2 contests one-on-one, and kicks that goal, no one will care, because it'll be 27, 26 points, whatever versus whatever it was. But we care. That matters to us. You don't know where that matters. That matters later on in the year. Who knows? You don't know where that matters. And he won both those contests, and that's the sort of stuff that we want to have through our whole group. We fight right to the last second, so that was really pleasing.
And on the flip side of that, from a forward-line perspective, the pressure not to be able to let the ball out, because there were a number of times you just disarmed the Giants and not allowing them to move the ball. Yeah, and when they did, they turned it over.
Yeah, it's a great observation, because that's what we wanted to try to do, is strangle their ability to move the ball, because they're so good at it. They're elite at that. And I thought our forwards and Lockie Schultz and Tim Membry had a great game tonight. He's pressure, but he kicked 4 goals, and he's been working hard behind the scenes. And just the whole collective of Dan McStay took a step forward. We were all wanting that, and I was really pleased and really proud of him taking steps forward. And a shout out to our 41,000 members that rocked up tonight. I'm sure there was a couple of Giants fans amongst them, but Hope the $3 pies were nice. Yeah, thanks for turning up.
Darcy Moore's unlikely on a 6-day break. What does it mean for Scott Pendlebury?
Well, actually, Pendles and I chatted this week, and we chatted pre-season. He was unlikely to go this game, and so we'll probably stick to that plan. 6-day travel into Brisbane and then back to Melbourne to gather around. That was always our plan, not to go to this game, so it probably falls in line with that.
So with Pendles not being likely for this game, but then the way you guys sort of worked out with Moore tonight, it's a bit risky from the team.
We like to be risk takers. You got to be. Yeah, like let's go. I won't throw at the stumps, but it's within reason. It's round 3. I'd be surprised if our medical team and high performance team would put him out there with big risk. They just look. It is what it is. He got through the game. Now we'll find out the aftermath of that, and we'll have to work through that. But no, we've got to be risk takers. I'm a risk taker, and I want our players to be too. So we can, we won't always get it right. That's part of risk taking. You're not always going to get it right. But if you don't have a throw at the stumps, you never run anyone out. So we're prepared to be that team. Yeah.
What is the issue with Pendlebury? Was it Achilles?
Achilles, yeah, we got told it's tight Achilles, so that's where it's at the moment. Yeah.
And could that be a prolonged period of time, or do you think it's just the gather?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the paint's still wet. We'll have to find all this out, and but you guys will be the first to know when we know. Yeah.
Well, I should say not just Nick, the Dacos family. Like a lot of attention this week about going to Tassie and all that. But for them to just come out tonight, I think they were both leading disposals for the Collingwood.
Yeah.
They just do it with ease, it seems.
Well, this is the reality of our world, and with no disrespect, within our 4 walls, it's a lot different to the outside world. It really is. Now, we respect that. You guys create stories and you get a write on it, and it's your world. But our world is a little bit different. We're process driven. We're high performance. We're trying to get better every day, and we can't control the narrative around us. We respect that's part of the job. There's heroes and villains and wins and losses. That's just what we live in. But when you come into our walls, we're just getting better. And Nick's the best trainer in our club, and Josh is not far behind him. And they get to work, and they're brilliant again. They work so hard at their game, and they get what they get. They deserve what they get.
Josh, I think, had his left shoulder. He looked in a bit of pain in the early days. He obviously played out the game.
I'm next to him as he come off. You're right. He goes, I've got a bit of a stinger. So those things, that's part of the AFL footy, isn't it? So apparently he's right. Yeah.
The return of Jeremy Howe tonight, Craig. What was your assessment on his game for a first up?
I thought he's important late. It's hard to know at times. Maybe watching from the stands how important it is, because he just is so vocal. So when someone just gets a bit fatigued and forgets to do something, he'll be the first to, hey, come on, let's go. So his leadership's incredible on the ground. He sees the game extremely well too. So I was really pleased to have him back in our team. He's had a pretty treacherous run in the last period, so hopefully we'll get some continuity now with him.
Just with Darcy, is there anything you feel like you need to get to the bottom of, or anything you do a little bit different? I know, like last year we had Jordan De Goey who just couldn't get a run of it. Is there something you need to do with Darcy to help him out?
I might wait for midweek for that one, because you're asking a coach that trying to get our defensive system and connection better. So that's where I lie, and let the experts do their job. But as soon as I know more, and I'll ask the same questions you're asking, and we'll try to get to some resolution. Again, I'm repeating myself, but you'll know when we know. We'll be transparent. Yeah.
Craig, you said you'd wait till post-game today to make a decision about whether you like the scheduling to start the season.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I loved it. Yeah. No, it's all relative. We all have our version of it. It's some teams getting longer buys, and it is hard to get a hold of. Like I'm coming tomorrow to watch Brisbane play St Kilda. They got a 5-day break up against us. All that stuff, like. It's hard. It's hard to get the bodies going early in the season after a 5-day break. We respect that, and we've got a 6-day break. We just live in the moment as much as you can, and let you guys create the narrative around there. But right now that 10 or 12 days was important to us, because we've got some movement in parts of our game.
Not everyone's using 2 ruckmans this year, but do you see that's the best version of Collingwood with Steene and Cameron as a partnership going forward?
I suppose there's I'm not fixed mindset on this stuff. I think some opposition definitely you want to play 2 rucks, and so I'm not fixed on it. But I'll say that there's a heavy load on Darcy Cameron to play 24 plus games, and ideally more than that. with the load in the game. So if we can get someone in to manage some of that, I think that'll be pivotal for his year. And then if Oscar keeps playing like that, it's going to be hard to leave him out.
Brisbane, up there, it's always a significant game, the Easter Thursday. What challenge do they present?
Well, let's stay here for now. We'll have this deep win, and we've got 6 days to work through them. We appreciate that. We respect the GWS. They were hard to beat tonight, and we'll learn many lessons out of this one, and we'll come to Brisbane in 6 days' time. Yep.